from a recent city hall event in Chicago. Watch this.
No more money for you. You working. No more money for you. Bye-bye. Go back across the No more money for you. No more money for you. It's lazy. You lazy. You lazy. No more money for you.
Another blow to the African American, Black American community here in the U.S. I just don't see how this thing is going to work. 2053 basically looks like a done deal. Heck, it might be 2035. Let's turn that number around. Check out this video, and we're going to talk about it after you guys check this out. And you guys could let me know what you think.
District. This is in South Africa.
Hotel owners and restaurant owners coming to me, can you send some of the migrants up here? We need them. I hear this in every corner of the state.
Governor Kathy Hochul's administration recently agreed to a proposal that could make it easier for migrants to get temporary jobs in state government. Approved earlier this month, the Civil Service Commission is working with agencies to implement the changes, which include dropping typical application requirements like proof of a high school diploma or proficiency in English.
I have 10,000 openings in the New York State workforce, from our operations to SUNY. I have 10,000 openings. So this is to give options for people, but to say we are working intensely to get work authorization applications. These are all legal people.
The goal is to make it faster for migrants to get jobs once they get legal work authorization. Hochul is eyeing around 4,000 entry-level positions that are currently unfilled within state agencies. Those include clerical or administrative roles, technical support, equipment service and repair jobs, as well as those positions in food services. Those jobs won't be limited to just migrants, and officials are billing it as a win-win, according to an internal memo obtained by New York One.
I'm anxious to get this moving quickly, and once they're approved, we can match people to jobs. They don't need to be reliant on services any longer, which I think is the objective, to not have people supported by taxpayers in our shelters.
It's part of an ongoing effort to inject new blood into a shrinking state workforce. Testifying before the state legislature on Tuesday, the head of the Civil Service Commission decried vacancies, saying they've already implemented temporary hiring measures on an emergency basis. Mayor Eric Adams also likes the new idea.
I would love to use migrants and asylum seekers to help with the lifeguard shortage. We've been successful to get almost 30,000 people to total application, including work authorization, asylum, and TPS. We want more.
He says the key is to speed up the federal government's long process that greenlights work approval, especially for the nearly 67,000 individuals currently living in the city's care, which could help the state labor department fill around 40,000 open positions posted by private businesses. But they're mainly outside of the Big Apple.
We're also looking forward to the state continuing to work with us to resettle families.
But it's been an ongoing struggle to convince migrants to relocate upstate, and the state's resettlement program has thus far only attracted a little over 100 migrants to that program. Bernadette Hogan, New York One.
So anyway, fam, what you think about that? I am here in St. Louis. This is Darren from Buckner Family Travels. On this channel, we talk about a lot of things, but one of the things we talk about is our journey of leaving America, and we're heading to Africa, specifically South Africa. So if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, before I go any further about that video that you just saw, I want to make sure that you like and you subscribe to our channel. You guys got to excuse me, I got to be careful because I'm driving, so I only can glance every once in a while. So I hope you guys, can stay engaged anyway. So make sure you keep pressing like, press subscribe. Make sure you share this channel with other people who might be interested in this content. But anyway, you guys, so as you guys can see, the local governments that black people or African American people in the United States tend to vote for, the voting bloc, we got Democratic and Republican. And of course in South Africa you have ANC, EFF, and whatnot. So it's basically the same thing for my South African brothers and sisters who didn't know. We have the Republicans, we got the Independent Party, the Green Party, and we got the Democratic Party. And generally in our community, black people vote straight down the list, and they vote for Democrat. Just Democrat. It don't matter what you, just Democrat, because that's what your mama told you, that's what your grandmama told you, that's what they all voted, Democrat. And I'm not gonna get deep off into the politics, because however you vote, and that's on you. But what I will say is, you see how these politicians were begging for people to come into the States. They're telling me, yes, you're welcome. We're going to give you housing. We're going to give you food. We're going to give you shelter. While in the meantime, in America, African Americans are some of the highest number of homeless people and poor people. And then here's the crazy part. They can even work 40 hours a week, still don't have enough money to have a place to stay. So they got to pay taxes and then help house somebody else. Look, I know America's not the only one with immigration issues, but right now it's the big deal. Like I said, we are talking hundreds of thousands of people coming over the border here in the United States. And the biggest group being affected is people that look like you and I. That's who's being affected the most. They look just like us, because these folks are literally coming in and creating communities and making it clear that they don't want you to have the money. You saw the video. You saw it. The guy said, "No more money for you. You lazy. No more money for you." I mean, come on. He just got to America, and he's trying to make sure that black Americans understand that he's about to get all your money. Again, black folks in America don't have the power to open up the border. The funny part is, the Democratic Party, which is Joe Biden, our president right now, he's the one that opened these borders up. He's allowing these borders to be open. And look, I'm about all that, America, home of the free and brave, or whatever they say. That's fine, wonderful, good. But man, look, that stuff don't really apply to us. So I'm gonna just let you brothers and sisters know. Hey, matter of fact, this is a little off subject, but my South African brothers and sisters, I was at a nice Brazilian restaurant, at least here in the States. They'll come around and, you turn over a thing and you eat all you can eat for a certain price. And they'll just keep bringing different foods over, cutting the meat right off in front of you, and you just take it off and you keep eating. And then when you turn it on red, that means stop, don't bring me anything else. So you put it back on green, they start coming back to the table. But at this restaurant, it just happened to be a lot of people, and I just looked and I'm listening to them. I'm like, man, where you from? And at least 6 different people came to my table, all brothers, and they were from South Africa, one from Zimbabwe. So one was Zimbabwean, and the other 4 or 5, I think it was from South Africa. And my wife was like, so how y'all like it here? How y'all like the States? Do you know, all of them, I'm talking about, they was sweating hard working at that restaurant. They was like, it's not what we thought it would be. A couple of them came over here to play rugby for the colleges. One guy came over here, and he came over here, I guess he got offered some little scholarship money to come play some basketball. And he said, well, this is the best place to come play basketball in the States. And he said, boy, was I wrong. He said, I was in for a surprise of my life. And every single one of them said that they're going to be looking to go back home soon. So they came to America, and I'm telling this for all my brothers and sisters over there, and they thought it was going to be you know, everything that it advertised to be on television and movies and everything else. And they come here and they say all they do is work. They say they work, they pay some bills, and they have no money left over. They don't have money to send home. They don't have money to build no house back home because the bills here are just too high. And they say it's just unattainable. They can't, they say it doesn't even make sense. They just work, get a little bit of money, and all they can do is pay for their place to rent. But anyway, I digress. But let me know what you think about that. I just wanted to throw that out there. You guys let me know what you think about that. And is that an experience that you guys have heard of in South Africa? You know, people that come here. I've heard it quite a bit, not just from South Africans, but from other brothers from Ghana and from Kenya and whatnot. They get here and they be like, man, it's tough over here. But anyway, I digress. Back to the Democrats. Back to the Republicans. Whoever. All of them. They all the same. Just a bird with, you know, same wings though. I mean wings, one on each wing, same bird, one wing on each, same bird though. It don't even matter. But anyway, you guys, so they are literally allowing some of the migrants to come in, and I mean they're literally walking through the gates and crossing the border and swimming across the Rio Grande and even drowning kids, all that. And I understand people want better opportunities, so that part I'm not knocking, man. I'm not knocking. I do think they should come in legally, and the biggest part is we're trying to figure out why are they allowing this many people to come into the country. I'm not sure how it is in South Africa. Do they just let people come in? You guys tell me. And how does that affect the economy? I know here in the States, this hasn't been the norm. This is the biggest migration we've seen, and they call them illegal immigrants is what the term they use here. And people, they just coming in, you know, and they straight up just, they move them all in black neighborhoods. That's another thing. They put these shelters and they move them in black neighborhoods. And next thing you know, the people are peddling, selling things in the black neighborhood. They are going up and working for almost nothing in the black neighborhood and taking jobs from brothers. Like I said before in my last video, it's bad enough that we ain't showing up to work. So what you think gonna happen? What I see is a replacement of the black man, a replacement even of the black woman here in the United States, especially the unskilled and ones without degrees in education. That'll come later. As their children are here and they have children here, then we'll have that and they'll take that too. But the immediate effect is going to be unskilled labor. I'm going in. I went to McDonald's today, and I was surprised. It was an all-black neighborhood, and English was not their first language. It was obviously Spanish was the first language in the whole McDonald's, and including the manager. So, like I said, it's getting real serious. I want you guys to check out this other video. Let me know what you think about this. There's some guy, he's selling fruit on the side of the road, and he's selling it dirt cheap. People got all kinds of comments as to where he got it from. There's no way. How did he get it that cheap? Looked like something came out of a grocery store. I'm talking about fruit look fresh. And even in that, people are like, okay, how is this happening? That's one video. Then hopefully I can get a little clip of when some guys from Venezuela, young guy from Venezuela, he went in and he had several charges. He hasn't been here very long, and he was arrested. He was trying to steal out of a store in New York, and when the security guard approached him about the stealing, he shot at her. He shot right in the open crowd. He shot at her. They did capture him. He's only 15 years old. But anyway, check out those videos, and I'll be back.
Is under arrest after allegedly shooting a tourist in a store in Times Square and firing at police. Here's Aaron McLaughlin.
Tonight in New York City, a 15-year-old wanted for opening fire on police officers in a crowded Times Square and shooting a tourist in the leg with a .45 caliber handgun, now in police custody, according to law enforcement.
Considering where these shootings took place, it's an actual miracle that we're not having a very different conversation right now.
Police say the teenage migrant recently arrived in New York from Venezuela in September. One of 3 teens who, according to police, entered a sporting goods store Thursday evening, stopped by a security guard for allegedly stealing clothes.
A suspect takes out a .45 caliber handgun, a very large handgun, shoots at her into a crowd, striking a 37-year-old female tourist from Brazil.
The victim telling our affiliate WNBC she heard a loud bang before seeing blood dripping down her leg.
He had no problems firing into a crowd of the store, striking a tourist, not shooting at a cops once, shooting at them twice.
Police say the other 2 teens were also arrested. The incident now part of a troubling trend of moped robberies, snatches, and pickpocketing in New York City.
There are some Venezuelan groups of migrants, I say some, not all, that are affecting crime in our city.
Just yesterday, police releasing this video, allegedly showing a group including migrants kicking and punching 2 New York City police officers. 7 have been charged, with more believed to be on the run. Aaron McLaughlin, NBC News, New York.
We can afford to live here, but y'all gonna bring some other motherfuckers here? That doesn't fucking add up. It doesn't make no fucking sense. None. I'm fucking homeless. I work a full-time job, 40 hours, and can't pay to live here. How the fuck are y'all gonna bring somebody else here?
So what's your thoughts on that? You saw the videos. I mean, I don't know what else to say, man. This is going to be a major problem. What I do wonder, though, guys, is what is the end goal? I really can't figure out what the end goal is. I'm thinking it's the replacement. That's the only thing I can think of. It's the replacement of black labor. If that happens, you guys, black Americans are screwed. If they can lose everything in Chicago, New York, and big cities like that where it's a majority black population, what's going to happen in other cities? What's going to happen in these other cities? What's going to happen in Houston? What's going to happen in Atlanta? What's going to happen in Milwaukee? What's going to happen in all these cities where a lot of black folks live if this becomes the norm? I noticed here in St. Louis, I told you guys before, I'm already starting to see the effects. Guy doing some work for me, he was like, oh, he didn't speak any English. Actually, he wasn't working for me directly. He was working for another guy I hired. And he has to travel back and forth to Florida because he says family's down there. And he's up here just trying to make some money. And like I said, I'm not knocking it, but it told me a lot about what's going on. And I'm like, man, this is getting real serious. I said, it's getting too crowded in the other cities. Chicago is only about 4 hours from St. Louis. So if it gets too crowded in Chicago, why wouldn't they come to St. Louis? Chicago is only 4 hours from Detroit, Chocolate City. What's going to happen in Detroit? When it gets too crowded and they looking for work, they want to spread out. They're going to go to Detroit and they're going to take the work there too. All I'm saying is, guys, my brothers, my sisters out there, we have got to buckle down. If there was ever a time that we have to come together, this is it. We better come together now, because otherwise, you guys, brothers are in trouble. But guess where we're going to be? We're going to be on the continent. So I appreciate you guys for liking and commenting and subscribing. I just want to put out this quick video just so, because I know the regular news probably in South Africa, you don't see the news here, and a lot of brothers here aren't even aware of what's going on. I talk to brothers here all the time and they don't even know what's happening, but because I stay on the know, I make sure, you know, I'm aware of what's going on, because I know this is going to affect my children and my children's children. And I just want to make sure that we do everything we possibly can in our community to at least lessen the impact. You know what I mean? When you crash into something, would you rather crash into a bunch of pillows? Or if you're jumping off a building, would you rather crash on a bunch of leaves? Or would you rather hit the ground or hit that concrete straight on? Which one would you rather do? You don't have to answer that. But I want you guys to like, comment, and subscribe. Check me out. I'm going to start doing a Black Excellence series. That way I can talk to you guys about Black excellence and people that I know in our community that are doing great things in our community. I'm going to do a Black Excellence series, and I'm going to start interviewing some people in South Africa more, especially the African-American diaspora that are there and ones that are coming, because I want to get their perspective, and I want to make sure my American audience gets an opportunity to get, you know, more insight of what's going on. And I want to let the African Americans go free on what they think about South Africa, and that way, you know, everyone's aware, because this is about love. This is about us all being together, and that's pretty much it. So hey, this is Darren. Once again, make sure you like, subscribe, and follow, and I am out. Peace.